Hey man, say man, it's your boy J-Man back again with a brand new video on the channel. It's been a while since I've uploaded. I haven't uploaded since I made my Golden State Warrior Boston Celtics prediction video. I'm going to be a man and say I was wrong. I had Boston winning in 6 games. And I had the games correct, but I had the wrong team. First, let me start off with Golden State. First off, hats off to Golden State. Congratulations to the Golden State Warriors. Hell of a story from being at the top of the totem pole, then you fall to rock bottom. You lose key players like Kevin Durant and Andre Iguodala, and then Klay Thompson's hurt, injuries happen, Steph breaks his hand. Next year they come back after not making the playoffs. James Wiseman gets hurt. Klay Thompson still isn't healthy. He tore his Achilles. And then, you miss the playoffs again. And then next year after you get fully healthy, you make the playoffs. Then you make a very deep playoff run and you end up winning the championship. So, hell of a run by Golden State. I'm not going to act like I'm the happiest about it. I'm not going to lie to you. I have a respectful hatred for Golden State. It's like, if you watch football, it's like watching Tom Brady win. It just gets real tiring. Like I be wanting to see somebody else win. I be wanting to. So the past 2 years of, the LeBron getting the chip and then Giannis getting the chip, that was nice. It was nice for a switch up. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was nice in my opinion. Like I said, man, Golden State just played excellent basketball. I mean, they played excellent defense on Boston. Boston was taking a lot of tough shots. They forced a lot of turnovers on that side. Overall, they just played well. They made the plays when they needed to play. And if you know Golden State, that's how Golden State really gets down. They're gonna give you chances to get back in the game, but what Golden State is, Golden State's gonna have that run where they look like the best team ever. They're just gonna have that run. They always have it, and it happens every game. Game 1 it happened, Boston came back. Game 2 it happened. Game 3, Game 4, Game 5, and Game 6. In Game 6, it was just atrocious. Steph Curry played out of his mind, finally got that finals MVP, which well deserving. He should have 2 of them. I still don't think Iggy should have got that first one in 2014 or 15. I still don't think he should have got that. Steph played out of his mind. He only had 1 bad game out of 6 games, so very impressive for Steph, especially at the rate he shoots the ball and the amount of focus that Boston had to like stop him and not let him get off, and he still got off 5 out of 6 of the games. That's very impressive in my opinion. Even in Game 5, he didn't shoot the ball well, but just him being on the floor, setting up as that distraction, getting guys to sell out on him on that pick and roll to where he's getting doubled and one person's open, all that's irreplaceable. Whether he's making shots or not, you have to guard him like that. And then Andrew Wiggins played out fucking standing. Andrew Wiggins was playing solid the first 3 games, and then Game 4 and Game 5 happened, and then he looked like a damn max player. He was the #1 pick for a reason, but god damn it, he looked like the #1. He looked like the #1 pick then. I mean, Game 4, he had what, 17 and 16, and then he followed up Game 5, and then he get 26 and 13, and then not to mention Wiggins played excellent defense on Jason Tatum. I still feel Jason Tatum could have got to where he wanted to get to, but Andrew Wiggins did a good job of disrupting it and not let Tatum be so comfortable, if that makes sense. Klay Thompson played well. I mean, Klay Thompson did what Klay Thompson did, what he needed to do, play defense when need be, made key shots when they needed to. Still that threat from the 3-point line where you can't help off him, whether he's making shots or not. Games 1 through 2 to 3, he wasn't shooting the ball the best, but he pulled it together in the later part of the series. I mean, like I said, when it comes to Klay and Steph, it don't matter if they're making shots or not. You have to guard them. I feel where Klay got back to being Klay is where they I would say they took the ball out of his hands, but he had more possessions where he was getting it off the catch. Then he gets it off the catch and he has to create. Game 1 and Game 2, you could really see it. Like the shots he was taking, like, is he capable of making that shot? Yeah, but that's not an ideal Klay shot. Klay isn't the type of guy where he gets the ball and you put him in an ISO situation, or he gets the ball off a screen and he has to create a shot. Normally Klay, he gets the ball, you give him 1 dribble and like 2 steps. You just can't have him putting him in situations to create. And Golden State made that adjustment. Draymond didn't really play the best. Draymond played solid. He kept his head above water, I'll say. He didn't drown. Game 1, he played horrible. Game 2, he played well. Game 3, he played horrible. Game 4, he played okay. Game 5, he played good. Game 6, he played great. With Draymond, I love Draymond. Draymond's one of those guys where you hate going against him, but you love when he's on your team. I understand that 1,000%, but Draymond would have, if they would have lost, Draymond would have been the reason for them losing, 1,000%. Because, and I would say he shot a lot of threes, but there was a lot of times where he had to take that 3 in the corner, or he had to take that 3 on the wing. He had to, because they wasn't guarding it. And then there's situations where he got, Draymond is a very emotional player, but there's a difference between being emotional and being aggressive. It's two different things. And I felt Draymond got caught up being emotional, getting too involved and trying to punk Boston and trying to get in their heads. I felt like he was doing too much. He was doing too much, which he shaped back. He kind of calmed down, got into the groove of the game, and kind of got back to where he needed to play in terms of pushing pace, getting the offensive rebounds, making the right pass, not trying to be fancy with it. You know, not trying to be a scorer, but scoring when need be. In that case, that's when he went back to that. That's when Golden State really got the rhythm again. I mean, Jordan Poole couldn't really play. Jordan Poole didn't play the best until the later part of the series. He played well Game 6. He played solid. He played good in Game 5. He played good in Game 2 as well. I mean, overall, man, Golden State played solid. They played good. I still think Boston had a chance to win. If we're being honest, right? In a series where mistakes, if Boston would have just limited their mistakes, they would have won. If they would have just limited their mistakes. And what I mean by that, I know, Jay, if every team makes mistakes, it's bound to happen. 1,000%, I hear you. The problem is, Boston has a track record of, there's a whole stat on it. When they get 16 turnovers, they lose. They are bound to lose. And also, Boston took a lot of bad shots this series. A lot of shots that were forced, but they went in. That's not good. Just because they're forced and they go in don't mean it's a good shot. And I feel like in terms on Boston's end, it's criminally unfair to put all the blame on Jason Tatum. It's unfair. It's unfair if you ask me. And I think if you're gonna blame Jason Tatum for them losing the series, you're delusional. My problem with Jason Tatum this series was when he did go to the basket and when he did have looks at the cup, he was more focused on trying to get fouls instead of trying to attack, like actually attack, trying to go up and finish. I feel like he was trying to draw fouls or get somebody on a kick out. In those situations, the way you are able to kick it out is if you aggressively attack the basket. That's how that works. But like I said, he doesn't deserve all the blame. Portion of the blame goes to Jaylen Brown, and Jaylen Brown's occasionally taking bad shots and turning the ball over. Same thing for Jason Tatum, taking bad shots and turning the ball over. Marcus Smart turning the ball over, and he couldn't stay in front of Steph at all. Now when I say that, of course, Golden State runs a lot of screener rolls, down pin screens, but in situations, especially like in Game 6, where it's a one-on-one, you're the defensive player of the year. You have to show me that. Like, I gotta see why you won deep for it. Like, you have to be able to stay in front of your man. And understand it's Steph Curry and you're so worried about the 3. But you can't let Steph get free lanes to the basket, Marcus. You just can't. You can't let him get free lanes to the cup. You let anybody get free lanes to the cup, they're gonna get in the rhythm. They're gonna feel good, and they're gonna start shooting. And when it comes to Steph Curry, that's even worse. And I told y'all, when I made my prediction video, I told y'all the key for Boston to win this series is you have to keep Steph out the paint. You have to keep him out the paint. You can't overplay on the 3 and let him get those gimmies at the basket. And they did a good job of that in Game 1. They did an outstanding job of that in Game 1. And then they were here in terms of that, and then they just fell off slowly but surely. They just fell off on it. But because they had to change it because Steph was shooting so good from 3, it's like, damn, am I just going to let him keep playing drop coverage and let him keep shooting this 3, or are we going to double it and overplay it? They had to make a decision, and they made a decision, and it just didn't work out for them. But like I said, Jaylen Brown gets some blame, Marcus Smart gets some blame, Ime Udoka gets some blame, Derek White and his inability to perform the last 3 games of that final series significantly hurt them. Grant Williams, you know, in terms of him being a defensive guy and being a glue guy and making the occasional 3 when he's open, he couldn't make them. He couldn't make the 3s. this series. Al Horford had 26 points in game 1. He scored 60 points the whole series. So, at one point, not 60 points, because when I say 60 points, I'm talking pre-game 6. Through the last 4 games before game 6 happened, Al Horford was not scoring the ball at all. Golden State did a good job of eliminating him from the game plan, to where he couldn't get that open corner 3 that he will normally get, or that offensive rebound and that quick putback for an easy 2. That just wasn't happening for Boston. That wasn't happening for him after game 1. But Al Horford, I believe in game 5 it was, when they started attacking the good Lord out of Al Horford on that high screener roll. And I feel that's where Ime Udoka gets the blame, because Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors are smart enough to where if something works, we gonna keep doing it. We not gonna change it up. We gonna keep doing it. Ime Udoka, like if you look at game 6, the score was 14-2. If you saw how they were running, there was more of a post up. They were posting on Marcus Smart, trying to be physical with Steph, trying to get Steph to get physical, overplay physicality, and draw fouls. They wanted to post Marcus Smart up, and work out of that. And they were doing that well. When it was working, when they were doing it, it was working. And then they went away from it. As soon as Marcus Smart picked up that second foul and they put him on the bench, that's when Golden State went on that run, that 21-0 run. That's when it was over with. Because in situations like that, you have, when something, this ain't the regular season. You can't test. If it work, it work. That was the whole series for Boston. Bad shots and turnovers. That was literally the only reason why they lost this series. Because game 4, Boston should have won that game. Game 5, Boston had a chance to win that game. Game 6, Boston had a chance to win that game. Game 2, Boston had a strong chance to win that game. Every game that Golden State won, Golden State just not going to give you the game. They not going to give it to you. Boston gave Golden State games. They gave them 2 games. 2 hardcore games certified that they gave them. Game 4 and Game 5, Boston said, here, take it. I don't want the game. You can take it. And also, as well, I think Boston messed up by going away with having Marcus Smart be the primary ball handler. I saw Jason Tatum bring the ball up and initiate the offense just a little bit too many times for my liking. I felt like that made him easier to contain, because as Kobe said, and as you can ask anybody who plays defense, it's better to guard the best player when he's in front of you. So when you got all 5 guys around you, when you got all 4 of the defenders that are with you guarding the main guy, and all 5 of them can see where he's at consistently, that's easier to contain. So I feel like if they would have put Marcus Smart at that point guard position, really let him bring the ball up and run the offense, it would have changed the dynamic for the series a little bit. Boston, still outstanding team. Hell of a season, like I said, hell of a season from going to 21-21 at one point to going all the way, fixing your record, becoming the what, 3rd seed? No, second seed. From being 7th seed all the way to the 2nd seed and making it to the finals. I think next year Boston will be better, just in terms of this is a learning experience, which I'm pretty sure me and you both know they were going to need. They're still the 2nd best team or best team in the East. The only team that can really hold them back from making the finals next year is Milwaukee, in my opinion. I don't think there's anybody in the East that can really compete with them. Unless Miami gets Donovan Mitchell or a Bradley Beal, I don't see it. I don't see any other team besides Milwaukee beating them in the Eastern Conference. In terms of Golden State is going to have that championship high, so they're going to come out next season strong. Confidence is going to be sky high. James Wiseman's going to be back, so that's going to change the dynamic of their team a little bit. And then they got the young core. Their minutes are going to go up, so their roles are going to increase. Excellent postseason. I will say this is an excellent postseason. I love watching it. I try my best to watch every single game possible. And yeah. Let me know how y'all feel about Golden State being NBA champions again. And yeah, man, if you made it this far in the video, go ahead and like the video, go and subscribe if you're new, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload. And yeah, man, I'm out, bro.